All right, we're riding to Coffey's. I know they got what I want. They got my favorite BLT sandwich, best one east of the Appalachian Trail. We're gonna ride pavement, gravel, and dirt till we get there. And by we, I mean me and Bertha. My 2022 KLR 650. I just swallowed a bug.
How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Where you from?
Charlotte.
Oh, right. That was my moon when I was little and young. You know, moved up
So
here.
last year.
Yeah. Welcome to Edgemont.
Thank you, sir.
Got some beautiful snake pits. She was arguing with me, telling me that.
And Coffey's General Store, and it's been a busy day. I always get when I'm here because it's a Southern tradition.
I remember my grandfather even talking about it when I was a kid back in the early 70s. And if you ever heard of an RC Cola and a moon pie, moon pies were invented by a baker back in 1917 and 1917, 1914. Dang it, forgot. Anyway, when a laborer told a baker that they wanted a snack as big as the moon, so that baker invented the moon pie. RC Cola was invented in Georgia by a grocer, actually by a pharmacist, came up with the recipe, and that was the science of the day, that was medicinal. Throughout the South, RC Cola and a moon pie was referred to as a working man's lunch. You could get the pair for 10 cents, and miners and whatnot would carry it with them into their workspace, and there you go, have their working man's lunch. So every time I come here, because they carry both at Coffey's, I get me an RC and a moon pie. That hasn't changed since I was a little boy. Now, moon pie, if you're unfamiliar, you Yankees, it's just some marshmallow stuff and some cookie stuff and some chocolate stuff. And it's delicious. It will give you early onset diabetes, but it's delicious. Good stuff. A rare treat.
So rode to Coffey's, got to enjoy a little bit of gravel roads, some dirt here and there, and did not get my favorite BLT sandwich. I guess there was a lettuce issue. So I did try a chicken salad sandwich. It was homemade chicken salad on homemade sourdough. It was very delicious. I mean, very good, very good. Love her homemade bread. And of course, had the working man's lunch. Got my RC Cola and a moon pie, as always, when I come to Coffey's or any of the old-fashioned general store type establishments that carry those old southern staples. On top of that, just by happenstance, I pulled over to check my camera settings, make sure everything was on before I left pavement, and I met a gentleman on a Triumph 1200 Scrambler. Gorgeous bike. Man, that was a badass looking bike. And he's from Poland, working in my neck of the woods. So he followed me to Coffey's. I introduced him to RC Cola, and now I've got a new riding buddy that's lives in the same town I do, basically. Can't beat that. All right. Old Betsy's store here. That was my first campground I took this bike to. It's February. It's 20 degrees Fahrenheit, and man, I had dropped the bike and ruptured my hamstring. Didn't realize how bad it was till I got home. Hobbling around on one leg, setting up camp in the dark. It was a hell of a trip. My first trip on this. Like every time I get a bike, the next weekend I go on its first trip. Did the same thing with the Suzuki this year. And it's just my routine, man. It's my tradition. So went there, and I was having a hell of a time even getting off the bike. I was okay while I was on it, but getting on and off, I literally let out a scream. I hobble my butt into the store. And Bruce, guy that runs the place, doesn't know me from Adam at the point. He looks at me and he goes, "Do I need to call an ambulance?" And I was like, "Oh wow, that must be really bad." But anyway, I made it through the night, froze myself silly at 20 degrees with a 34-degree sleeping bag. I was just all out of whack. Man, I don't know what happened. We'll call that trip brain fart. So, well, that's a story of Betsy's general store there, or old time store, or whatever. Betsy's. Yeah, everybody just calls it Betsy's. You call it Betsy's. They won't mind. So, the gentleman I met on the Triumph, he had come up here to ride the OHV trails, Brown Mountain OHV, and so he went off to get him a pass and go ride those trails the rest of the day while I went exploring campsites and whatnot. I got some homemade banana nut bread and pistachio bread. If you ever make it to Coffey's, highly recommend you pick up any and all, because they have pumpkin bread, banana nut bread, Reese's banana bread. Man, tell you what, it is good stuff. Not healthy stuff, but good stuff. I cannot say enough good stuff about that place and those owners. This was a good lunch trip. Really good. And there's no paved roads to get there, so don't be taking your Gixxer. I mean, I guess you can if you're that kind of rider, but if you're good at it on this gravel and dirt. Well, thank you guys. I hope you enjoyed my lunch trip. I hope you like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the dingy bell, and we'll see how many other little micro adventures we can go on together, and how many places I can point out that you might want to go to. I'm going to head back to the big city, unfortunately. But, yeah, we will catch you next time. Not sure what it's going to be or when it's going to be, but maybe I'll put up a short when I know, just to let you guys know. All right, let me know if you enjoyed this video, because, yeah, I threw in some extra stuff, some B-roll, man. Trying to make it look professional. We'll see if it works. All right, guys. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, night, whatever you're doing. And we'll see you next time. Moto Adventures out.